Shayini b'mitzvosechu, v'samchekayini b'sorusechu, Sabayini mittivechu, v'samchashayini b'shiyuseyechu, Hoi v'tawayili bayili, v'yomtechu b'yemes, v'tahayili bayini, Hoi v'yomtechu b'yemes, Hoi v'tawayili bayini, v'yomtechu b'yemes.
Hello everyone, we're up to Machmir, rule number 4. And rule number 4 is, it is no one's business. Or if I could say it differently, do not be haughty about it. Don't be a Baal Gaiva. Let's go to a beautiful Gemara about a beautiful mitzvah we have. It should be a simple mitzvah, and that is to live in a sukkah. And the halacha is clear with regard to eating. You only need to eat in there a real meal, but a snack could be eaten outside the sukkah. However, we have a beautiful Mishnah in Masechet Sukkah that says, Ma'aseh, there was a situation. They brought Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai litom et hatavshil. They brought Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai litom et hatavshil. They brought him just to taste part of a meal, namely not have a meal, but taste like a bite of it. They brought him 2 dates and a little water, all of which you can eat outside the sukkah because they are not a meal, but rather a snack. They amru, and they said, He'alum la sukkah, let's go up to the sukkah and eat it there. Seems like a chumra to me. After all, you can eat a snack outside the sukkah. And indeed, the Gemara comes along and says something very interesting about this ma'aseh, this story. Im bala hachmir al atzmo machmir, if you want to be machmir on yourself, and even eat a snack in the sukkah, you can. Late bay mishum kיוהרא, and in this case, there is no suspicion that you are a Baal Gaiva, that you are haughty because of your chumra. Explains the Maharitz Chayes on that Gemara. The haro'eh yomar de'emzeh ti'ima. When someone sees you eating a date in the sukkah, he's not going to say, ooh, this guy's machmir, he even eats dates in the sukkah. No. Rak v'yam mamash, he'll say you're eating a meal. In other words, this is after the meal, this is dessert, or this is before the meal, the appetizer. O dilma yochalot, in other words, something more is about to come, and you're going to eat more. In a word, if indeed there would be a suspicion that you eating a date in the sukkah or drinking a cup of water in the sukkah is going to make you into a haughty Jew, saying, I have a chumra, and everyone's going to see it because the sukkah's out in public, you shouldn't do it. But if indeed they could interpret it in such a way that you do not come out as haughty, then you can do it publicly. From here we learn that indeed, if you want to keep a chumra, it is your business. Do not make it public to the world. Do not say things like, well, not everyone does it, but I do. Because that is exactly what this Gemara comes along and says you shouldn't do. As a matter of fact, this is not just with this mitzvah d'oraisa called sukkah. We have this with regard to Kriyat Shema as well. And as everybody knows, Kriyat Shema should be said with proper seriousness and proper kavanah. Well, it comes along to Tosfot and talks about the night of your marriage, where you have your mind on other things, and maybe you won't have your kavanah on Kriyat Shema properly. So, indeed, the Gemara discusses, should you say Kriyat Shema at night or not? And finally, the Tosfot says about his time, namely medieval times, and I would say Kol Shekain our times. Anu, us, shebishum pam ein anu mechavnim heitev. On a regular night of the week, on a Wednesday night in Ma'ariv, we don't have the proper kavanah. Gam chatan yesh likrot, and even a chassan at his wedding could daven Ma'ariv and say Shema. And then he adds a postscript. Adarabba, all the more so. D'irad k'Yehoram im lo yikra, klomar ani mechaven b'chol sha'ah. If everyone's davening Ma'ariv at his wedding and he's not, and he says, well, you know, I am a chassan, what he's basically saying is, I have kavanah every other night, more than you guys. That's exactly what you can't do. In other words, if you have a chumra, it's your business. Do not publicize it to the world. I remember not so many years ago, a guy on Sukkot came to shul with his plastic lulav case. And on the plastic lulav case in Israel, usually there's a sticker telling you the grade of the lulav, namely how much you paid for it. Is it just kasher? Is it mehudar? Is it mehudar aleph, aleph, aleph? This guy had mehudar aleph, 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 aleph. Well, the sticker fell off. This is the middle of Sukkot. He already bought the lulav, so I'm not so sure why he needed the sticker. He went out of his way to go under the bima, take out scotch tape, and put it back on. I could not hold myself back. I went to ask him why, and he says, because I want everybody to know that in mitzvos you have to be mahadir. Well, that's exactly what this rule tells us not to do. You want a chumra? You want to buy a lulav that's more than what you need? Bevakasha, keep it to be your business, not everyone else's. And allow me to end, as I did yesterday with Rav Moshe Feinstein. Rav Moshe Feinstein in that famous tshuva about blended whiskey, where he says it's basically kosher. But I'm Machmir on myself, but not in public. His reason is, and I quote, Shelo lemechse kիוהרא. I shouldn't look like a haughty Jew. Now Rav Moshe, the halachic decider, I'm sure anything he did, everyone would bow to. He says, no. The halacha's the halacha for me as much as everyone else. I will not come out as a haughty person by saying, I have a chumra, and I'm going to let everybody know. So to sum up, you have a chumra? Beautiful. Keep it to yourself. Do not publicize it to the world and make the whole world feel bad that they're not keeping your chumra, and more importantly, make yourself into a baal gaiva, into a haughty person. A chumra is beautiful when it's kept quiet.
Imam alefunechu yovav shav yoishai muroi Imam lesapaite yilusechu shoy chai shchukim V'yali kolam nisturois V'hem liglois atu yodaya yodaya V'yali kolam nisturois